So what does it really mean to be free? I mean, we hear that phrase all the time, that we're born that way, but what does it actually look like? Why does it matter? In this explainer, we're going to unpack a short but really powerful text that gives us a kind of guide to living a life without walls. It all starts right here, just two simple words. But these two words are the foundation for, well, for everything else. Think about that for a second. Freedom isn't some prize you have to win. It's our factory setting. It's the starting point for every single one of us. All right, section 1, a free beginning. So if we're born free, what does that actually feel like? To help us get our heads around it, the text gives us these incredible metaphors, pulled right from the natural world.
First up, our freedom is like the wind. You can't catch it. You can't box it up. It's this elemental, completely uncontrollable force. The idea here is that our own inner freedom is meant to be just as wild.
And it's also like grass. Just think about how persistent grass is. It's always finding a way to grow, even through tiny cracks in the concrete. This suggests that freedom is a fundamental part of our design, always pushing to express itself.
So when you put these ideas together, you get our first real definition. And notice, this isn't about politics or laws, it's about our natural state. Freedom is an internal compass, guiding us toward that life without walls. You know, the one that feels truly authentic and worth living?
Okay, on to section 2, the heart's true north. So if being free is our natural state, how do we actively live it? This is where we shift from the big idea of freedom to the actual day-to-day practice of it.
And this is really the key question, isn't it? It's one thing to know you're born free, but how do you actually embody that freedom in your daily life? Well, the path forward is actually surprisingly simple, and it's laid out in 3 steps. First, you follow your heart. That's the compass we just talked about. Second, you let beauty surround you. And third, you stay open enough to let the world astound you.
And just notice the simplicity of that final step. It isn't about grand adventures or traveling the entire planet. It's about finding wonder in the everyday. Just being able to look up at a star and still feel completely and utterly in awe. Astound. Let that word just sink in for a moment. It's not about just being curious. It's about being genuinely amazed, struck by the simple wonder of existing. That capacity for wonder is an absolutely vital part of living free.
Which brings us to section 3, where no walls divide. See, to feel that wonder, you need the right environment, both inside yourself and out in the world. You need a space where, as the quote says, no walls can divide you. This presents us with a really clear choice. We can be like the roaring tide, undivided, unhidden, and unafraid. Or we can live behind walls, divided from others, hidden away and contained. It's the choice between open expression and hiding yourself away.
And the connection here is just so powerful. When you embrace that roaring tide part of yourself, the need to hide, to build those walls in the first place, it just dissolves. Your authentic self is enough. It doesn't need to be concealed.
And that leads us to our final and maybe most important section. We've defined freedom and explored how to live it. But why? Why does it all matter so much?
At first, the answer seems pretty straightforward. We're born free. And as a result, life is worth living. It's a simple, beautiful equation, right? Freedom makes life meaningful. A perfect way to wrap things up. But the story doesn't quite stop there. There's one final twist that completely reframes everything we've just discussed.
And here's the flip. The entire statement gets turned on its head. Life isn't just better when you're free. Life is only worth living because you're born free. Whoa! It's not just an ingredient in a good life, it is the absolute non-negotiable foundation for any meaning at all. So we end where we began, but with the question turned back around to you. We've seen freedom as a natural state, a daily practice of wonder, and the very foundation of a meaningful life. So now it's your turn to ask, what does a life without walls look like for you? Thanks for joining me on this one.